Come sail around the world with me. Ride on the waves of the deep blue sea. Float to an island where the days are free. Spend some time with my family. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. Friends all around me, everywhere. Down in the water, up in the air. All of them mean a lot to me, but my very best friends are my family. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. The Swiss Family Robinson, living in the sun. The Swiss Family Robinson, every day is fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun.
Boy, I never thought that building a boat was going to be such hard work. Mr. Morton said that everyone should help, and he assigned each of us a job to do.
Father, do you think this will work?
I feel it will.
So it's certain we're leaving the island?
No, I can't guarantee that we will. But if it doesn't work, we'll have to come up with something altogether different.
Why is that?
Because I don't think these tools could handle another project like this one.
You're right. This chisel has had it. Oh well, it's too bad we can't buy new tools on an uninhabited island.
While Father and Fritz worked on the boat itself, the rest of us were busy too. Tom-Tom's job was to strip fibers from coconuts. Jack and I had to collect sap from rubber trees. I'm sure the work wouldn't have been that hard, except it was so hot. I was beginning to wonder if we would ever finish.
Do you think we'll need more?
Mr. Morton said to gather all we can.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I can't imagine what he'll do with so much of this. We've been collecting this stuff for days. It's awfully hot. Ugh. Oh.
Yeah, sure is.
Hasn't it been unusually hot lately, Father?
Yes, it has, Fritz. Mr. Morton confirmed something that has had me quite concerned. It seems that the reason we've been having these strong earthquakes and the water in the cavern is warmed up is because the volcano may erupt.
Huh?
Tom, why don't you take a break and play with us? Come on, Tom.
Yeah, let's go swimming.
Just a little further upstream is the best swimming pond on the island, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, it sure is.
Huh? Wasn't that Mercedes?
Yeah. Mercedes!
Mercedes!
Come back here, Mercedes!
That's strange, huh, Jack? This is the spot where we saw her, isn't it?
There she is!
What?
Ah, there you are. Mercedes, you shouldn't be so far away from home all by yourself. What if you get lost and can't get home? Wouldn't you be scared? Mercedes, you stop that! out. No, Mercedes, wait! Don't go!
I don't think she wants to be held, Jack. Don't worry about it. She'll follow us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Morton.
Hello, Pee-wees.
And what brings you to this place, sir?
I'm the one that should be asking you that. Shouldn't you all be doing your chores?
Well, yes, but we were so tired we decided to rest a little bit.
We're gonna go swimming because it's so hot.
Ha, I see. But I'm afraid you Pee-wees won't be able to take a swim. Look,
Oh, what are those things?
it is called flax.
What's flax?
It's a long stem plant with very strong fibers, which we use to make into rope, to use on a mast and on the sail of a ship. The pieces of rope your father has aren't going to be enough. So we'll need more before we can set sail.
And you know how to make it?
Yes, and it's a good thing you came along just now. I want you to help me make it.
What? I told you we came here to rest and swim a little bit.
Long as you can't go swimming here, you better let me give you something to do that will cool you all off. Now, you three, watch carefully how I do this. Yeah. Peel the fibers into strips. Try to keep them straight so they don't break, just like I'm doing. Throw away the center. We don't need that. After you've done all that, gather them all up and stretch them. Once you've done all the stems into one bundle, we will go over to that tree and hang them out to dry. So did all you Pee-wees get all that? Now let's hurry it up. Come on.
What? We didn't come here to get more chores.
Stop complaining and get started.
We shouldn't have come.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Mercedes, where you going? Come back here!
You must let Mercedes go, Jack. When we leave the island, she will want to stay with her family.
I'm not gonna leave her. She's gonna go with me. Mercedes! She's gone again. I can't see her.
You should not worry, Jack. Mercedes will not get lost on this island.
Oh.
Phew. We didn't know what had gotten into Mercedes. We didn't realize that she had found a very special new friend. What I did know was that we had worked so hard all day, we couldn't wait to get to bed and go to sleep.
I think the children have been working harder than they should have, Ernest.
That's because Mr. Morton thinks everyone should work as hard as he does.
Oh, darling, you shouldn't overwork yourself either. As far as the children are concerned, because they're still so young, as long as they get a good night's sleep, they'll be just fine in the morning. You, on the other hand, should be a little more careful not to overexert yourself.
Come now, Anna, am I that feeble?
Of course you're not, Ernest.
Mercedes? Mercedes, where are you going? Mercedes, if you move around, you'll wake everyone up.
What do you think of it, Mr. Morton?
It's very good.
That's a relief.
Yes, if we would have had to do it over again, I don't think we could have done it any better.
It's far from being completed. Now I want you to cover the parts you have carved out.
What? You mean you want us to fill up what took us so long to carve out?
No, Fritz. Don't fill it. Cover it completely with boards so it will be watertight.
Cover it up? Where are we going to put passengers and the luggage?
We'll build a bridge across the two canoes and use it as a deck, and that is where we'll be able to sit and stow everything.
So no matter how much water splashes onto the canoes, the ship will never sink.
But it's impossible to cover it over tightly enough that water won't leak in. We can't cut the wood that straight.
It doesn't matter if the boards aren't the same. I have a way to fill up all the holes and cracks, Fritz.
Oh? How do you think Mr. Morton plans to make these watertight?
I don't know, Fritz. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, now each one of us will take the other one's rope. For example, Tommy will get my rope, and then Becca will get Tommy's like so. And I'll take Becca's. Do you see how it goes? There we go, Pee-wees. You're both
Jack,
doing
give me
just
some more,
fine.
please.
Right.
Okay, you two. We're not done yet. We still got a ways to go.
Oh, I see. You're working together on the rope.
Yes.
I've got it, Mr. Morton. You know, Mama's very good at making things with her hands. How about letting her make rope?
I don't think so. We don't need anyone else.
Why not?
Mr. Morton, I'd appreciate you once in a while giving me something to do. I'd feel so much more useful if you would, what with everyone else working as hard as they have been.
Oh, come on, Mr. Morton. Why don't you let her do something, okay?
Not necessary.
Well, oh,
Your mom like to really drop a cat, is she?
that's not nice, whispering in front of others.
Well, he said that a beautiful woman like you shouldn't work so hard. You might just get your hands all dirty and your hair messy.
Oh. Mr. Morton, please.
There are quite a few openings.
Uh-huh. There's a big one over there.
Yes, you're right.
And there also.
How will you fill them up, Mr. Morton?
Patience, boy, patience. Ah, here they come. Yeah, come now. Hurry up. There. First, you can stuff the openings with coconut fibers. Becca, you start on the other canoe.
Work again? Mr. Morton, aren't you ever going to let us have time to play?
And I suppose that just because you're children, you shouldn't work so hard.
No, sir. Children should just play hard.
Huh? Don't say such nonsense to me, Pee-wee.
Hi!
It's no use. All right, you can play for just an hour.
Yay! Come on!
Doctor, I think your children are a bit spoiled.
Oh, you do?
And they influence Tommy, too. If I'm not watching, he goes off and plays with your children.
He seems a whole lot happier than when we first met him.
Well, frankly, I'm grateful you've been kind to him.
It sure was nice being able to play in the water for a little while. We needed that break after working so hard in this heat.
I hope this experience will never be repeated.
There. Now that the openings are sealed, the water won't be able to leak through.
I see. And since it's hollow inside, it can't sink.
Mr. Morton is certainly an expert shipbuilder.
Well, instead of admiring, you should start sealing the other.
All right?
Mr. Morton, would you like another helping?
Don't mind if I do.
What is this, Anna?
It's cheese.
Cheese? How in the world did you make it?
I made it with coconut milk.
Is that right?
I learned how from Tom Tom. It's from the coconuts that were used for the ship.
I see. You should give us more recipes, Tom Tom.
Well, I think you've all done a splendid job. It's beautiful.
It's a fine ship.
And I helped.
Me too.
I think it's time to launch her.
You stand over here, Tom Tom.
All right.
How are you coming along, Fritz?
Okay, ready.
Fine, let's go.
Yo-ho!
Push.
Yo-ho!
Heave! Come on, Brewster.
Heave-ho!
Come on, move, donkey.
Mr. Morton, do you have to growl like an animal? Couldn't you just call out, heave-ho?
You can yell what you like, but I can push harder when I growl.
Hey, it's moving.
Good, you're all doing fine. One more push.
Heave-ho!
Ho-ho!
Come on. Push. Everyone, keep pushing.
Come on, push harder. Yeah.
Keep pushing.
I think you're right, Mr. Morton. The growling really does help.
Keep pushing. We're almost there.
It's done! Come on!
Hey, we did it! We did it!
Look, the donkey's sick!
Oh, my, look, Ernest.
Oh, what's wrong? Are you sick? Huh? Oh. How is he?
I'm afraid I pushed him too hard.
No, it wasn't that. I believe that he's just too old to keep going any longer, Fritz. But as long as he's still breathing, we should try to do as much as we can for him.
That evening, we all stayed up, keeping a watchful eye over our donkey. The excitement of the ship seemed very far away.
Oh,
Poor thing.
he's opening his eyes.
Huh?
Here's water, donkey.
Oh.
He's too weak to drink it.
Huh? Donkey?
It can't be.
Thank you, our good friend. He helped us so much. Without him, we wouldn't have been able to launch our boat.
He gave us everything he had right up to the very end.
I'm so sorry, Donkey.
I'll miss you very much.
Me too.
The poor thing, he died here, so far away from his home.
Well, Pee-wees, perhaps it's best that he died here.
How could you say something like that, Mr. Morton?
Sir, I realize he's an animal, but you should have more sympathy for him.
But I do have sympathy for him.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if this donkey would have been alive by the time we were to leave the island, he would have had to have been left behind.
No, sir, we would have taken him no matter what. He's been with us since we left Blackburn Rock. He's family. We would have never done such a horrible thing.
Well, Doctor, what do you think? Would you have taken the donkey with you if he was alive?
I suppose it would have been impossible to try to get him on board that ship.
And being domesticated, if he were to be left behind, he would never have been able to recall his natural instincts. Sooner or later, he would have been attacked by the wolves, or killed by the jackals. Or the poor thing would have died of old age, and his body would have been food for the vultures. There wouldn't have been anyone to give him a proper burial and say a prayer.
Huh?
You were concerned about the donkey, weren't you, Mr. Morton?
I'm very grateful. Without his help, we never could have launched the boat. It was quite a feat for such an old animal.
We're fortunate he was here to help.
The good Lord seems to watch over you folks pretty well.
Let's pray and say how thankful we are.
And with Mother's prayer, we expressed our thanks for our donkey and his help at our escape, but also our sadness that our rescue plans couldn't have had a happier ending for him.